Hi everyone, my name's Kathy. Welcome to my frugality channel, Skint Living UK. As part of my frugality, I like to do crafting, and I often use old things like clothes, yarn, wool, and whatever I can basically get my hands on. So I just wanted to show you a few projects that I've completed and a few projects I'm in the process of doing. And if you're doing anything like that at the moment, let me know in the comments below. First of all, I wanted to show you this denim jacket. Oh, here's my cat. Yeah! She's always the same. She was photo bombing. I wanted to show you this denim jacket. I've had this a few years. I bought it from Debenhams, and it was a plain black jacket. It was looking a bit shabby because it had been washed to death. So what I've done is I've bleached the seams and I've started doing some sewing on it as well. So this is the back panel and I've done a little design there. All I do is just use back stitch. I can't do fancy stitches because my hands won't let me because I've got arthritis. So you can see I've done some stitching there as well. So what I've been doing, because I want it as a warm jacket, because I've got a plain blue one that I've not done anything to, so that's great for spring, summer, going into autumn. I want this one autumn, winter. So I've started lining it with the blanket. I was looking all around the charity shops and I couldn't find one at a good price and that wasn't stained or ripped or whatever. So I ended up buying a little fleecy blanket in Home Bargains for £3. I think they're meant to be pet blankets. So I bought like a tartany check one. The other one's like with paw prints on and things like that. And first of all, I've lined the collar. And I'll show you the front now. I've lined the inside, as you can see. It fell off. I've lined the pockets, all hand sewn on, and I've done stitching everywhere just to make it look a bit interesting. So I've done the top. I think they call that a placket. If I'm wrong, let me know. So I've lined there. I've got a bit of the blanket left, so I might line the inside there where you can see the stitching because it's looking a bit messy. This is the front, so I've just done some little stitches on the pocket down where the buttonholes are, and on the other side I've done like some running stitches going down, and this side here I've done some chevrons just to make it look a bit more interesting. I know you probably think that's a bit out there. So this is sort of like a work in progress because I keep doing things to it. But it just makes it a bit more interesting. But more importantly, it makes it warm because it's got that blanket on the inside. And that blanket only cost me £3 and I'm reusing the jacket so it doesn't end up in landfill. Other things I do is, if you know my channel, I like making cushions. I've just recently made 2. These squares have been sewn onto a piece of spare fabric, and then on the back I've used denim. I love to use denim because it's cheap. That's right, my categories. It's versatile, it's robust, and more importantly, it's abundant. You can get it anywhere. So this is the one I made last week. And the back of that, I've used the last of the fabric that I had. I made a curtain for my pantry, and this is the last piece of fabric. So I thought, oh, I'll use it for that because it was just the right size for a cushion. So where did these little pieces of fabric come from? My local charity shop often puts a rail out with free clothes to get rid of stuff. So at the end of the summer, they had a load of kiddies' school dresses like this, and in various colours, and they were free, no cost at all. So I took a few of them, I went back 3 times. I ended up getting some red ones, some yellow ones, some blue ones, and one pink one. So what I do is I process them. I take the zips off and I keep the zips in my little zip tub. This is an old ice cream tub. The fabric goes into the bag. And then I've got pieces to use. So as well as making cushions, I do what's called English paper piecing. For sure, people call it EPP. And as well as EPP and cushion making, I use, like I said, I use old clothes. So like these are the dresses. This is a piece of my son's pyjama bottoms. This is from a man's shirt. On this one, I've got a piece of tea towel and a piece of scrap fabric. And you might notice these little daisies or little flowers. And I got them from the Heart Foundation charity in Old Swan, if you're from Liverpool. And there's a big packet of these. They were £3.50, but they had a 20% off day, so they cost me less than £3. I looked up online and £4, £5, £6. So I'm happy with that. So this is my EPP bag, and inside what I have is these little hexagons. And and I sew bits of fabric around whatever scrap fabric I've got. Like I said, my son's old pyjama bottoms, and you just tack them on. I use any old spare threads, it doesn't have to be precious threads. I've got like green there and I've tacked it on, and then once I've got a few of them, I make these flowers, as you can see. And then after these ones, I've been putting flowers in the middle, and then they'll get sewn together. Then I can take the papers out. As you can see, the papers are still in once they're sewn together. And I'm going to make a curtain. I've got a shoe rack upstairs, a vintage one that needs painting. So once it's been cleaned and painted, I'm going to make a curtain with these little flowers. And I might make a cushion as well, because I've got plenty of fabric. So while I've processed the fabric, I try to keep little bits I think are interesting. So I've got a bag here, what I call the interesting bits in, because I'm like, I probably haven't got a use for them yet, but I'll come up with them. See the little trim, bit of collar. I'm just thinking, well, there might be something I can do with them. I've definitely kept hold of the zips. Look at that, that's so pretty. And I haven't done it yet, but I need to start collecting the buttons. I've got lots of jars of buttons hanging around, and I'm sure I'll find a use for them. And then all the little final scraps of fabric go in this bag, and they get used for stuffing. I usually use cushion pads that I either buy from the charity shop or get a bundle of them online. But I also stuff things with the scrappy fabric, so none of it goes to waste at all. As I said, I'd like to use denim. So I make a lot of cushions. I do what's called tie bleaching, not tie dyeing, and do pretty patterns in the denim, like this. I think they're lovely. So what I've been doing recently is I bought 2 skirts. So this front of the cushion was made from a check wool blend skirt. So the first piece got made into all one piece of skirt. The next one, I've put denim around the edges, and you can see the tie bleached fabric at the back. So after I made them, I had some little pieces left, so I made a weave cushion. So as you can see, there's the bits of the skirt, and there's the bits of the denim that were tie bleached. So I've made it into a weave pattern. I don't know if you can see that. So I've used every last little bit, and the little tiny bits go in my scrap bag. This is my favourite cushion at the moment. All different bits of tie bleach denim from different pairs of jeans. And I've made a panel in the middle from the seams. I've got a big bag of seams and hems. And I just thought, oh yeah, so that's made a weave. And on the back, it's just panels of denim. But the front is like that. So I'm going to be doing some projects at the moment. And my latest one with Christmas looming. Hello, darling. My dog's on the chair. Nearly sat on her. Is Christmas stockings. So I bought this kit purely because so I could use it as a template. I got it from Bernardo's for £1. And it came with 2 pieces, a big piece of felt like this for the... And you're supposed to sew the 2 pieces of felt together and make a stocking. So what I've done, out of a cereal box, I've made a template. So I can make more. So that'll be stashed. Because I want to make 4 stockings. One for each of my lads, one for my son's girlfriend, who's up in Scotland with my son. And one for my son who lives with me. So I've got this felt backing, and that'll make 2. And I've pinned a bit of fabric here, and this is from a leg of my son's pyjama bottoms. So he's going to get this one. I originally started pinning it to the back, and then I thought, right, I need to quilt that. So because the fabric is very thin, so I've sent off for some polyester, what they call quilting or wadding. Some people call it draught, some people call it batten. I used to use a lot of it years ago because I used to do upholstery. I used to upholster chairs, ottomans, trunks, stools, that sort of thing as a side gig. Because what I earned full time wasn't enough because most of my money went on mortgage and childcare. In fact, childcare was more money than my mortgage, as if you're a parent, you'll very well know. So I didn't have any left, so I've ordered some cheapy polyester wadding because it's just for Christmas stockings. If I was making a quilt, I'd buy either cotton or bamboo, or a cotton bamboo mix because it's better quality. This is another skirt that I've just cut up from hems, and that's about to be made into a cushion for my son's room because we're going for a sort of baronial Scottish theme. Mild, sort of dark academia look, and this wool blend fabric will be used for cushions like I did with the blue check stuff, similar to that. I bought a bundle of stuff the other week from the charity shop, and in that was a quilt cover. So what I did was I cut the quilt cover along the seams. So I had 2 big pieces, and then I cut one of the pieces in half because it's got this pretty border on. So that's the main fabric there. You can see with the flowers, but it's got this gorgeous burgundy border. So I'm going to make a throw with it. So for that, when I get round to it, I'll order some proper batten draught quilting fabric, either in bamboo or cotton or a mix, and this will be the back. Also, I wanted that quilt because I need a new ironing board cover, and as a little project I'm going to make an ironing board cover as well, and I'm halfway through making some oven gloves. They're upstairs. So this quilt cover will be made to make 2 quilts, an ironing board cover, probably a cushion, and probably like a scrappy cushion as well. So why am I making loads of cushions? Because I'm making a kitchen banquette bench, a storage bench, like trunks that you can sit on in an L shape. They're going to be done this month. So I wanted a raft of cushions to go on them, and I wanted cushions for all around the house because I'm hoping to get the house up for sale. So I hope you found the video interesting, and let me know what you're up to as well. I just like to do a little bit of sewing or something like that, or crocheting in the evenings when I'm watching the telly. I make a raft of blankets from wool I'll either find in the charity shops, online, such as eBay, or I just look around the supermarkets, because sometimes Aldi and Lidl have them as well. And Home and Bargains, I think, do great priced wool. I like to use chunky wool. This is last year's scarf. I don't know if you can see the pattern. And this is my latest blanket. So I've sent my son loads of blankets because he's up in Scotland and worries about him being cold. So my next blanket will be made for my son who lives here with me. But he's had about 3 or 4 blankets off me, my son up in Scotland. Because I just think, oh, it's cold. Yeah, so my next crochet task will be making a blanket for my son here. And what's good about making a blanket while you're watching the telly, you can have the blanket over your knee to keep you warm. So please like, share and subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Watch out for my Cheapy Tuesday video, where I usually show what items are thrifted, because often I use my thrifted items in my crafting. And if you could be so kind, could you give me a thumbs up or a comment, because that helps the YouTube algorithm know I exist. Bye for now, and I hope to see you soon.